Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. I am glad you're here. May I just say, I know we're gonna have a good time today just because you're looking good. I just wanted to say that you're looking pretty good. I'm pleasantly surprised to have such good company for this video today. So, my name's Sylver, and I am going to be hosting you today as we go on this brand new world project. And I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, he's certainly an orangish, reddish character, isn't he? What's that he's wearing? And then your next thought was, how can this be a new world when those don't look? That certainly doesn't look like it's anything that you would see in a new world. And the answer is, you're right. You're right on both counts. I am a little orange, and what can I say? I was born this way. I tried to wash it off, and I jump in the water, and it stays the way it is. So here's how I look. But this is not the world we will be building. This is episode 0, and we're going to jump in on episode 1. Episode 0 is important, though, because this is the start of a very specific project. It's a little bit different than the way some people use Minecraft, and it's a different way of approaching a survival let's play in Minecraft. And I'm excited. It lets me do something that I've been wanting to do for quite some time. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that in just a minute. So, why are we starting here? Well, I did need a place to record the video, and since we haven't started our world yet, this is the best place, I think. This is my family's server family, and we're going to be adding some friends on here as well. So if you see some, like, most of this right here is all my builds, but if you see like the tower back there, that's my dad's, and behind me a couple hundred blocks my sister's got a lot of stuff, and etc. So won't all be mine. We're in the middle of a major kind of hub for the server, but this is a decently new server, and it gives me a chance to explore some of my builds here, I guess, while we talk about what we are doing. And the reason for starting here is because of this right here. This right here. Well, this is, I mean, this should be in a museum, shouldn't it? It doesn't even work anymore. I mean, the server hasn't been updated yet. We're going to give it a week or so to make sure everybody has stuff like, mending books. But yeah, this is old tech. This is going to be gone. We're going to need something new here. And this might still all be the same in here. This is just the sorting system. But yeah, a good chunk of that's obsolete. And then this over here, our villager trading hall, we'll redesign the inside of it. But it's obsolete as well. Oh, I have to apologize. I'm in the middle of doing the landscaping here, and yeah, there's a lot of torch spam. You'll see some of that around here, and I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. We'll get it cleaned up. Maybe if you want to come see this area again once it's all done, we'll come back and show it to you again once it's done. So, I want to talk a little bit about how I play Minecraft, and then what we're going to be doing with this world. So I tend to play Minecraft as I started playing Minecraft back in the beta, and it's actually kind of funny because I had a friend then. He was taking some of my fitness and classes and stuff like that, and every time he'd come, I'd just make fun of him because he was talking about Minecraft again. And I was like, Minecraft is for nerds, not Minecraft is dumb. It was still a pretty decently new thing. And then about 3 months later, I was addicted. And so I kind of had a love-hate relationship with Minecraft early on, and the big reason for that is simply because it was kind of difficult to play. I wanted to build these big things, and I'm not a creative player very much. Even when I'm doing like redstone builds and testing, that usually ends up in my world. So as a survival player wanting to do certain things, I was really frustrated. Then one day, I believe it was a friend of mine asked, but it could have been somewhere else. I came across this thing called SylverCraft, and I found it one day. I installed it, and I didn't touch vanilla Minecraft again for probably 5 years. I watched a lot of things like Direwolf20, and or a lot of channels like Direwolf20, and was very into the technical efficiency, that type of stuff. Played through Feed the Beast packs and started to develop my own kind of style of gameplay, which is one of the reasons that I love Minecraft, is because there are so many different ways to play this game, you know? Um, and so the, things were going really great for it. Like, I loved it. I was having so much fun. And then one day, uh, my PSU shorted. My power supply unit died on that computer, and it died. It like died. It it shorted out the hard drive, fried the hard drive. I did manage to recover like some documents, like Word documents and stuff, but pretty much everything else was just gone. I lost a world that I'd been working on for about 3.5 years at that point, and I was like devastated. You know, I didn't touch Minecraft again for probably 4 to 6 months, and when I did, I had started to miss it, and I tried playing it my uh, on my laptop, and it just wouldn't. And I finally realized that I've been watching Mumbo Jumbo forever, since very early in his channel, and I was like, I'm watching a lot of this vanilla. It's changed. It's gotten a little bit better. Maybe I could try playing in vanilla. And so I played in vanilla for a while, and I kept thinking, man, okay, when I get a new computer, I am going to go back to playing modded because that's how I like to play. And it never happened. I mean, I was actually really close to doing that when they announced the update Aquatic, and yeah, I was hooked. I do tons of water builds, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's so much more here to do now. I figured I would wait till everything updated to the update Aquatic, and then I could reinstall mods. And no, it just hasn't happened. There's so much that they've done, so much they've added. Um, and one of the things that I think the developers have done that's been really good is they've taken all the modded stuff, that they've looked at it, they've seen the functionality, and they've applied it to the game in a way that keeps it true to kind of the Minecraft brand. And that's something I really appreciate. I really like. I have been playing vanilla, and I have come to love vanilla. Um, Especially with the addition of certain technological aspects that let me build the way that I want to build. Oh, and by the way, the floor's up there. I will admit right now that this is, well, hello. Okay, I guess we have a creeper in our melon farm. Um, Sorry, got distracted. Anyways, so this is hideous. I absolutely love stripped logs. Any of the stripped logs, and I build a lot with them. And I was like, I'm gonna do a floor, and yeah, I'm gonna tear this out and fix this. But a lot of this up here, this as you just saw, this antique system of trading is going to get ripped out, and we have to build a new villager trading system in here. So I'm glad that they're supposed to at least somewhat-ish seem to be keeping their trades, because we got like mending for 10, I think, 10 emeralds down there and stuff, things I don't want to go get again. But yeah, this is all obsolete. And so let's keep coming over here down around this way. I'm going to show you one other thing that I'm going to miss, and that's slab lighting. I like making areas dark. I have for a long time. Playing with light and dark in Minecraft can create some really beautiful stuff. And this is going to be disappointing to lose, but I understand why they do it. And honestly, we still have plenty of ways to introduce. We still have lots of different ways that we can create, darker areas and keep it spawn proof through things like buttons and trapdoors and stuff like that. But I will miss this. It's a cool effect. Anyway, so that brings me to my point of I've been kind of playing Minecraft for a while, and I'm not necessarily terribly great at it. I do a lot of puttering around, and I have a lot of fun. And so I've kind of developed my own build style, and that's just come really naturally from how I do things. You have to understand, I'm a bit of a storyteller, and that's not like I don't glorify that at all. I don't stop and think, man, I'm a storyteller, but I do like telling stories. That's a natural role that I've kind of just fit into throughout my life. I I when I was a kid, I was always the one making up the pretend games. Then when I was older, like say I'd play Minecraft, not Minecraft. I'd play Dungeons and Dragons with my dad and some of his friends for quite a while, and I ended up really just preferring to be the dungeon master. It's fun to create the things, and that's kind of how I've treated Minecraft in that my goal is generally to build worlds, and I don't just like to build worlds where stuff looks cool, but where there is stories, where we have heroes and villains and very specific things going on. And I've developed kind of my own way of using Minecraft to tell some stories. And so this is actually a part of a second project, a project that my wife and I have. So my wife and I have a little thing we call Sylver and Zeus, and Sylver and Zeus is, I guess it's our media brand. If you search YouTube, we've got a tiny little YouTube channel that's a vlog. Um, but what Sylver and Zeus mainly is to us is it's got two kind of different stories that this area is mostly done. This is the first thing I came in and built. There are a few things here to clean up though. But Sylver and Zeus is mainly how we create music. We've had a couple songs on the radio. We're not big or you know anything like that, but it's been fun. We've actually made a little bit of money. Some people have bought our merchandise, and not enough to talk about, but enough to like feel cool. Like, wow, somebody liked my music. That's neat. And so later this year, we have our first real album coming out. We've kind of released stuff before, but it's just been us, posting online and having fun. Whereas this is actually going to be like professionally marketed and things like that. And so that's been our main project. And we have a secondary project that we've been working on for about 2 years, and will probably be a couple more years before it becomes something that we really focus on. We got to get through some of the releasing music that we're working on right now and stuff. But we have a story that we're going to be telling, and we're going to be using both a video and printed means to be telling it. And we've been creating on paper kind of a rich, detailed world with characters and things like that kind of get us to the point of what we're trying to tell. And as we've done that, we've got our main characters. Then we have some, I would say, background characters, side characters, whatever you want. There's one that is incredibly important, who I actually think his story as it's developed is fascinating to me, and I've been wanting to tell it. And so has Natalie, and my wife. And so we kind of, after a while, decided, the way I play Minecraft, I think would be a really good way to show his world and tell his story. I mean, and this is going to be a survival let's play. I mean, we're going to be building farms and things like that. That's how I play. I play in survival. I don't really like, it'll be an interesting mix of telling a story and doing a survival let's play world. And that's kind of what we want to talk a little bit about, is about that story. There's a second reason for this that all coincides at the same time. We were going to wait probably another 2 months if it had been up to us to start this, but I made a commitment. I've been playing Minecraft for long enough and been wanting to start a channel for a long time, but I just haven't had the time. I've got a few health problems. Then we have a baby. I guess he's 2 now, so he's not a baby. We have a baby on the way, and then we have our own, two of our own little businesses that we're trying to grow to take care of our family and everything like that. So it's busy, and I don't really feel like I have a lot of time. But if I don't come and participate, I really love the Minecraft community. I think that I will regret it, and I don't want to have any regrets at the end of my life. Kind of our philosophy. If you go look at like our website or anything like that, you'll see that one of our phrases we like to say is follow the path of least regrets. So this is us following the path of least regrets. This is a great way, we think, for us to tell a story we want to, that's kind of a subset of another story, or part of another story, and introduce that. There will be more content coming out around that over the next 2 years. And it allows me to kind of put into action a commitment I made. When 1.13 came out, my wife and I talked and said, all right, we've got a year to find a way to make the time for me to make a channel. And when 1.14 came out, which it did today, woo, then it's time for me to start my channel. So we've been getting things ready, and That's what we're doing. We are starting today, um, and we're going to be telling a story. Now, I want to talk a little bit about how this plays out because in doing this, it causes me to play Minecraft a little bit differently than you might be used to. So we, in order to explore that, are going to jet somewhere else to another one of my builds in another area of the world. Let's just do... Hey guys, 15-second lag break here. Thanks for watching the video this far. If you're enjoying the content that I am making, then one of the best ways you can support me is to consider hitting that subscribe button and maybe even giving it a thumbs up. All right, thanks. Let's just jump right back in. And we are back. Now, before I show you what we're here to look at, I want to talk about kind of the difference between what I see as the biggest difference between the way I build and the way a lot of people build with Minecraft. And you know, no criticism there at all. One of the things I love about Minecraft is, you know, it doesn't matter whether you like playing through adventure maps or are, you know, there are all sorts of people. You get people who, a lot of people, their favorite time of the game is the very first few minutes. You know, you start a new world, you're exploring, you're punching wood. That's my least favorite part of the game. But Minecraft is such a big open world that it it creates a lot of different playstyles. It also creates some interesting challenges, and this is kind of where I think that some of the way that I tackle those challenges allows me to do stuff that I see some people struggling with. And so, you know, a lot of what I've learned on Minecraft has come from other people. So I'm not even necessarily going to take like to say that I invented a whole lot of stuff here. What we're about to look at is primarily my own builds, but they're ideas that came from other people. A lot of it comes from the modded community, to be honest. So, and it's just how I personally have implemented it in the game. So I am an anti-base builder. And I know that it's kind of funny because I've been preparing this video for a few days, and I think yesterday Mumbo Jumbo came out with a video talking about why he is a base builder. I might put that down in the description, and it's great, like, it's good points. I'm kind of the opposite, though, in that I tend to think along the lines of the base presents a great many answers to some of the challenges that you get in Minecraft. In Minecraft you struggle with things like sorting resources, getting them in the right spot, staying safe, keeping your resources safe, being able to access and craft them, all that type of stuff. And because of that, bases are great, especially during certain portions of the game. But my personal point of view is that at the same time, it then limits the end game a lot. And it's because you have limited yourself to a base. I don't build bases. I tend to build resource processing centers like the one behind me. And we're going to go take a tour on this, and I'm going to explain to you both what it does and why it allows us to treat the world a little differently and create really large builds in shorter periods of time. So let's jump over here. I'm not used to OBS, so there is right now. Well, let me show you the bottom. We'll come up here first. The bottom is, I think that this is my design. I mean, when I say that, it's kind of tongue-in-cheek. I mean, this is Minecraft. It's if we're looking at a guardian farm, you're going to have a spawn area that's in here. It's going to be filled with water. It's a lot easier to remove them now that we have soul sand from like the old designs. And so they spawn, you remove them with soul sand, you transport them somewhere, and you kill them. And so that happens real quick, nice and easy right here. I used to move them out of the base and kill them right outside the base just to limit anything that this might, you know, taking up spawns or anything like that. And I haven't had any problems with it here, and I prefer it here for AFK purposes. So the one thing that I do like about this that I haven't seen anybody else's, and there is a flaw to it, but if we turn that off, it's a simple on-off switch. We come over here, and for XP mode, we just put the water out. Now, without the water, they still die right as they hit. It's far enough away, but with the water, they survive with just like one swipe left of life, and they don't bounce around. I hate watching them bounce around in there. So super easy to, whoa, just a little bit. And then down here, this was designed one way. This is the third variation, and it's a little cramped. I'm going to come back and redo it. I think the one thing in this that isn't my system is these shulker box loaders, and I don't know who designed those, but there's a sorting system, and eh, we don't necessarily need to throw them around in a circle, all the items in a circle. That was just for fun. Um, but yeah, so it loads the shulkers and then it spits them out over here. And this is where we start getting to the more important parts of the build. So the shulkers travel up these tubes right here, item transport tubes. We don't need no build craft. We got that right there, you know. And so let's come up here. This isn't done. This build is also, this build's probably about 2/3 done. There's a bunch of the stuff. There's going to be some cool out and about stuff. These platforms are going to get bottoms. There's going to be more 3D, more layers added to the outside, etc. But this right here is my baby, and you may be able to glance at it and get kind of an idea of what it's doing, especially once you get up right here. This is obviously a mass crafting system. And so our shulkers get delivered here. This is not just for the shulkers, but I will show you that. Or this is not just for the Prismarine farm. Those and just start trashing that. But yeah, this is a mass crafting system. And this is Mark III. The one that I'm planning on building in the world we're about to start is actually Mark VI. We'll talk about the differences there. But this is how I tend to build. I'll create, let me show you what each of these are. I'll explain how each of these farms work. But I tend to create large resource gathering and processing areas in each area of my world. And that does a couple things. That gives us cool functional builds. It also gives us the ability to create and process resources very large scale very quickly. So yeah, this is pretty obviously a either smooth or cobblestone, depending on which, if you're using your Silk Touch pickaxe or your regular pickaxe. And it gets sent over into these shulker boxes, which get loaded into here. We don't have any in there right now. And so yeah, it's a pretty easy AFKable, semi-AFKable. Generally with these types of things, I'll bring in like 10 picks and then just set an alarm for 15 minutes and come back every 15 minutes and switch out to a pick or switch out. Just real quick, this is the snow farm. This is probably the simplest snow farm ever, and part of that is because I don't really have any need for snow here. We will be building a larger snow farm that is AFKable, about 2,000 blocks that way, I think. But that's for a different project. This is just for basic. If you need always, this is a so this is our concrete maker, and you do get some blowback from here, but most of it ends up down there. If you start with an empty inventory, most of it will end up in there, and you might just occasionally throw some out. It gets packed into shulker boxes over here, and when we get here, we load our full shulker boxes in right here. So we load shulker boxes full of, say we want red concrete powder. We've got red concrete here. We'll bring all the resources over to the mass crafting system. We'll craft, say, 6 shulker boxes full, and then we'll throw them up here, and they will get emptied down onto us. It breaks, empties one at the same speed as you. And then, yeah, you can AFK and get. Coming right over here is, this is probably, aside from the mass crafting system, the most complex build here. This is the automatic obsidian farm, semi-automatic, I guess. So we load shulkers full of lava buckets right here. And so we'll put in, you know, it's really easy to get your buckets run out into an area of the nether. We treat it kind of like a sand quarry. We just designate, hey, this area of the nether right here, this is where we're going to collect lava from. You go and you fill up your shulker boxes, you stick them up there, you turn it on, and it will start spitting the lava right here. There's a sorting system underneath it to pull out the empty buckets so that always has a hole for a new lava bucket. And then the empty buckets end up in shulkers over here, which this might get redesigned simply because, honestly, it takes a long time to fill up. You got to have a lot of buckets in there, where really we just need probably a chest there. But right now it fills up shulkers, which gets spat down into here. Yeah, buckets. And then there should be a couple of these around here somewhere full of obsidian. I'm not sure where they went actually. But yeah, then the obsidian gets loaded in right here and comes down here. So you can come load that up. AFK, you just stand here around this block of glass. You AFK, and when you're back, it's gone. And then let's talk about this. So this is my lab space, and this is actually how I tend to build. This is a small lab space in my point of view. We need height and we need decent distance, but this is where I tend to come to work out things like redstone problems and stuff like that. So let's look at this really quickly. Let's come up here. Come up here, come up here, come up here. Woo! This is, I'm pretty proud of this thing. This right here is ugly. I need to, I mean, this isn't done. I mean, this is all stuff that's stuff like that. Right now, the system can hold 9 times 32 shulker boxes in it. And I don't want to do the math while I'm recording and going to sound stupid. So yeah, we load our shulker boxes into here, filled with whatever we're crafting. And we always do 9. I'll talk about that in a minute. And we come over here, and this is how we turn it on. Now, this room right here, I'm pretty proud of because I built all this, and this is Mark III. The system is Mark III. I put the Mark II system I had up here, and I could only fit 4 here. And it was just way too slow. It wasn't worth mass crafting if it's going to be that slow. So got rid of Mark II, pulled it out, didn't want to rebuild it. And so I designed Mark III, actually right down there in that lab area, and made it fit because I didn't want to tear the dome down and make it bigger. This is going to be a little bit different than the setup because this is a 2.5 wide tileable system. You see this right here. All those shulkers end up in the middle, so you've got 1 and 1. So it ends up actually 5 wide. We load it all up here. Because of the redstone, we actually have to stop with the back buttons first, or else it'll fire extra things, and it loads everything. Then we come right back here, and it all dumps in on us, and we just stay open here. We craft, and we'll do something like that. Boom. I don't know where I got those from, actually. I don't recall those being... Oh, probably from when I killed the Guardians. Okay, so then that comes over here. It gets packed into... Wait, out of shulkers? Huh. Okay. It gets packed into shulkers, and it ends up in here, and we can do a lot. And so to give you an idea, if I AFK overnight for about 6 hours at the Guardian farm, we end up with 11 shulkers full, and it takes 20, depending on what we're crafting, because some nut recipes require 9 components, and some only require 4 components. And so with 4 components, we do more crafting, so it takes longer, but usually it takes about 22 to 32 minutes to craft them all into their respective shulkers, which gives us massive amounts of, things like that. And that allows us to really conquer large builds easily. This is where I think you can start to see a lot of my... I'll tell you a little story. So when I started playing modded, I really enjoyed it for quite a while. And I was playing, I was playing every day. Like, I was having fun with it. But I didn't quite get addicted to Minecraft until I played a new mod. It was called Applied Energistics. And so for any of you who remember Applied Energistics, oh, I fell in love with that mod. I had so much fun with that. And then AE2 was even better. And one of the things that I loved was its ability to take your storage, make it portable, make it so that it was really usable, so you could do different things. And that's why that world got so big. So when I started playing with vanilla, I was like, okay, I need to be able to do this to fit my playstyle. I need to figure out how this all works. And luckily they announced shulker boxes and things like that. And so I love raiding the end. That's one of my favorite. I can do it for weeks. And the way I play, I tend to need hundreds and hundreds of shulker boxes, because I hate. Wait, come in close. Come here. Let me tell you a secret. I hate banks of chests. I hate them. You know the way Iskall hates diorite? I hate banks of chests. So I love sorting systems, and obviously starting a new world, we will have banks of chests for quite a while. But once we get to the end and I get to the point where I can raid the end, all of our storage systems will be converted to this type of thing. And I don't mind banks of chests with really like with deep storage units, which we tend to make because we tend to do extremely large projects because we're creating a world, a story. We need buildings, we need farms, we need villagers that we can rename. We need enough leather to create hundreds of books that we can write in. We need to be able to tell the story of the world. And so this right here is what happens instead. I end up, and I would call this about a mid-sized resource processing center for me. I wouldn't call this a large resource processing center, but I've started to just refer to them as my labs. I am not a base builder. I'm a lab builder. I'm a world builder. Blah, 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 blah. I think that's about it. That's what I wanted to talk to you about today. And I hope that as we play together and share Minecraft with one another, you know, I am always a student. I know that there are a lot of things that I could do a lot better. This, I'll tell you before we end, we're now on Mark 6 of my mass crafting system. Mark 3 right here is still slightly slower than I want, so I designed Mark 4. Mark 4 had 18 unloaders, and each unloader was situated above 2 minecart hoppers that we played with to get under there. And so there were 36 minecart hoppers feeding into 36 droppers with a quick clock. And I learned that even on a decent machine, you can totally lag out Minecraft. We that between the redstone and the sheer number of items, I crashed. Luckily, I was playing in a single player world. A Sylver player world. That's me. I was playing in a single player world, and so Mark 5 improved on that, and Mark 6 actually gets it about the speed that I want. And so, you know, I'm constantly trying new things, learning new things, and I love learning from other people. So if you see something here and you see something that I'm doing and you're like, hey, that I've got an idea, hey, I would love to hear it. You could just, you know, put it in those comments down below. Talk to me. I'm excited to. Part of the reason that I'm wanting to do this is because I really do love the Minecraft community, whether it's on Reddit or whether I'm, you know, talking to somebody in like the comments of a SylverCraft video. Like the Minecraft community is a pretty fun and wonderful place to play and to share with each other. So I'm looking forward to doing that with you. Quick bit about my release schedule, and then we'll wrap this up because it feels like it's getting a little long. Maybe that's just because I'm not used to talking to a camera or to a microphone for that long each day, but I don't want to bore you too much. And so we're going to start. I've been involved with a number of YouTube channels, and I've been playing Minecraft for quite a while. I kind of understand the learning curve that tends to happen with a new YouTube channel, and there's going to be a lot to learn. Each channel is different, so I'm not going to try and bite off more than I can chew. I'm not going to promise 4 20-minute videos each week. Right now, I'm planning on recording Monday and Tuesday, and releasing that video Tuesday. Planning on recording Wednesday and Thursday to release a video Thursday, and then live streaming Friday. Now, because of my own family schedule, if that doesn't work, then the videos will probably come out Wednesday and Friday, and I would live stream Saturday. We're still working that out. We're gonna test some things and try some things, and you know, it may not be 20-minute videos at first either, and that's because we're trying to create a sustainable project. This is really important to my wife and I, that, you know, even if nobody else at this point in time is interested in this story, it's important for us to tell it, and we want to do it this way. So we got to make it so it's sustainable, which means not biting off more than we can chew right at the beginning. So 2 videos a week in a live stream, I think that's pretty reasonable. If things with work or my health or anything gets really crazy, or, you know, my wife is going to have a baby, we may take a week off. I'll try and pre-record if I know that's coming up. But aside from that, that is the plan. That's the schedule, and we'll be starting this on Thursday of this week. Should be the very first video, and we'll be ramping up as we. I'm talking too much. Shut up. End the video. Okay, that's probably about good. So, with all that, I think that it's time to log off of. We got to log off here. All right, guys, I have just loaded up 1.14 for the first time. So, let's jump in and tell the story of the last guard. And for anyone who wants to know, I always use, if I name a world, that is also the seed. So if anybody does want to follow along for some reason, you're welcome there. And we don't use cheats hardly at all, but we may be using some command blocks to alter some terrain generation later in the game. This isn't something I would expect to be done for 6 months to a year. If we do it, we're still trying to decide there. So let's do it. 1, 2, 3.